This wasn't just a fast car, it was a car that made Formula One look broken. 1 season, 22 races, 21 wins. Every weekend felt predictable, not because the sport lacked talent, but because one machine operated on a completely different level. While other teams fought for tenths, this car dealt in seconds. While rivals searched for solutions, it kept evolving, race after race, without showing a single real weakness. So what actually made it so dominant? Was it just smart engineering? Or was it something deeper? Timing, philosophy, and execution coming together at a level Formula One rarely sees. A perfect evolution, not a revolution. The biggest mistake people make is assuming dominance comes from radical change. It doesn't. It comes from perfect evolution. The RB19 wasn't built from scratch. It was an upgraded version of the already strong RB18. But instead of chasing new ideas, the team refined every single area that already worked. That decision alone separated them from the rest of the grid. While rivals like Mercedes-Benz chased aggressive concepts and Ferrari searched for balance, Red Bull focused on stability. They didn't try to outsmart the regulations. They mastered them. Every surface, every airflow path, every component served a clear purpose: consistency. And in modern Formula One, consistency is everything. A car that behaves predictably gives drivers confidence. Confidence creates performance. And performance, over a full season, becomes dominance. The aerodynamic masterclass. At the heart of this dominance was one thing: airflow control. The RB19's design philosophy revolved around managing air more efficiently than anyone else. The front chassis directed clean airflow toward the floor, feeding the underbody tunnels that generate ground effect downforce. This wasn't just about creating grip, it was about maintaining it under every condition. Through corners, braking zones, and acceleration phases, the car stayed stable. Where other cars lost downforce or became unpredictable, the RB19 remained planted. That stability allowed the driver to push harder, lap after lap, without fear of sudden instability. The side pod design also played a critical role. Instead of copying extreme concepts, Red Bull created deep, sculpted channels that guided airflow precisely toward the rear. This improved diffuser performance and maximized overall aerodynamic efficiency. It wasn't flashy, it was surgical, and that's what made it unstoppable. Rear-end efficiency and the DRS advantage. If the front and floor created grip, the rear of the car turned that grip into speed. The RB19's rear-end design, including the interaction between the diffuser, beam wing, and rear wing, was optimized to reduce drag without sacrificing downforce. This balance is incredibly difficult to achieve, yet Red Bull managed it better than anyone. The real weapon, however, was how the car behaved when DRS was activated. When the rear wing opened, the airflow over the entire rear structure changed dramatically, effectively reducing drag across the whole system. The result? Massive straight-line speed gains, often between 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. This meant overtaking became easier, defending became effortless, and even on tracks where Red Bull wasn't expected to dominate, they still had a clear advantage. Mechanical grip and suspension. Brilliance. Aerodynamics alone doesn't win championships. Mechanical performance matters just as much. The RB19 featured a highly refined suspension system designed to maintain stability under all conditions. Anti-dive and anti-squat geometry kept the car level during braking and acceleration, preserving aerodynamic consistency. At the same time, the setup allowed the car to generate strong mechanical grip. This was crucial for slower corners, where aerodynamics play a smaller role. The combination created something rare: a car that was equally strong in high-speed corners, low-speed sections, and transitional phases. Most teams excel in one area and compromise in another. Red Bull didn't. That balance made the car incredibly versatile across different circuits, and that's why it dominated everywhere. Tire management, the hidden weapon. One of the most underrated aspects of the RB19 was its tire management. Formula One isn't just about speed, it's about sustaining that speed over long stints. Many cars can be quick for a few laps. Very few can maintain performance without destroying their tires. The RB19 operated within a perfect temperature window. It didn't overheat the tires, and it didn't struggle to generate grip. This allowed drivers to extend stints, execute flexible strategies, and maintain pace deep into races. While rivals experienced degradation and performance drop-offs, Red Bull stayed consistent. Over a race distance, that advantage became enormous. It also gave the team strategic freedom. They could choose when to push, when to conserve, and when to attack, always on their own terms. Reliability, zero weakness. Dominance means nothing without reliability. Across the entire 2023 season, the RB19 had zero mechanical retirements. Not one. In a sport where even small failures can ruin a race, this level of reliability is extraordinary. This allowed the team to push the car harder than anyone else. They didn't have to hold back. They didn't have to compromise performance to protect components. Every race weekend followed the same pattern. Maximum attack, maximum confidence, maximum results. That reliability also simplified decision-making. Strategy calls became easier when the team knew the car would perform exactly as expected. And in Formula One, clarity leads to execution. The genius behind the machine. No discussion about dominance is complete without mentioning Adrian Newey. Newey's strength isn't just designing fast cars, it's understanding rules better than anyone else. When the 2022 regulations were introduced, many teams focused on extreme concepts. Newey focused on fundamentals, airflow stability, mechanical balance, and long-term development potential. He didn't just design for speed, he designed for control. That approach allowed Red Bull to avoid the major issues that plagued other teams, especially proposing. While rivals struggled to fix problems, Red Bull refined their car and gathered valuable data. By the time others caught up, it was already too late. Timing the rules better than everyone else. Formula One, dominance often comes down to timing. When regulations change, there is a small window where teams can gain a massive advantage. Red Bull didn't just hit that window, they maximized it. They front-loaded development work before restrictions like wind tunnel penalties fully impacted them. This gave them a strong baseline early in the season. From there, development became about refinement, not recovery. Other teams were reacting. Red Bull was evolving. That difference created a gap that no one could close within a single season. The competition failed to keep up. Dominance is never just about one team doing everything right. It's also about others getting things wrong. Mercedes-Benz pursued an aggressive zero sidepod concept that didn't translate well to real-world performance. Instability and aerodynamic issues limited their potential. Ferrari had strong pace, but struggled with tire degradation and consistency. Their performance window was too narrow to compete over full race distances. Even promising challengers like Aston Martin couldn't sustain development throughout the season. The result was clear. Red Bull had no consistent rival. And in Formula One, that's when dominance becomes historic. The driver factor. Even the best car needs the right driver to unlock its full potential. That driver was Max Verstappen. His driving style perfectly matched the RB19's characteristics. A sharp front end, strong rear stability, and instant response. He could push the car to its limits without losing control. Race after race, he delivered performances that turned dominance into destruction. Wins from deep grid positions, flawless tire management, relentless consistency. Even with the same car, his teammate couldn't match that level. That gap proved something important. The RB19 was dominant. Verstappen made it historic. Great cars win championships. Legendary cars redefine the sport. The RB19 wasn't built on one breakthrough idea. It was built on hundreds of small decisions, executed perfectly. Aerodynamics, mechanics, strategy, reliability, every piece worked in harmony. But here's the real question. Was this dominance a once-in-a-generation moment, or a blueprint for the future of Formula One? Because if one team can combine timing, engineering, and execution at this level again, history might repeat itself. And if you think another car can match what the RB19 achieved, or even surpass it, let me know. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Formula One, engineering, and dominance, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.